Material. The elegance dealbreaker material is where a belt's refinement either shines or fails. Cheap faux leather often feels rigid, overly smooth, and artificial. It cracks early and doesn't sit well on the body. But not all faux leather is bad. High-quality vegan leather can surprise you with softness, matte finish, and graceful wear. On the other hand, genuine leather isn't always a win. Some real leather belts are poorly treated, coated so thickly they feel like plastic, or dyed in tones that scream synthetic. Good leather, real or vegan, feels supple yet substantial. It bends naturally, ages gracefully, and holds structure without stiffness. Check the edges. Too sealed, smooth finishes matter. A simple bend test can tell you a lot. If it creases beautifully, it's a keeper. The fastest way to ruin an outfit. Beautiful outfit can fall apart in seconds with the wrong belt. You might be wearing tailored trousers, a crisp blouse, and elegant shoes, but then a flimsy shiny belt cuts through the harmony. Because it sits at your core, a bad belt pulls the eye instantly. It distracts, rather than supports, and it flattens the sophistication you built. Imagine a graceful ivory knit dress, cinched at the waist with a plastic-looking patent belt. Now swap it for a gently aged leather one. Instantly refined. This isn't about price, it's about perception. The belt tells a story. If that story is cheap, it drags the whole narrative down. Elegance demands intention. So let's examine exactly how to spot the belts that betray us. What cheap actually looks like. Cheap belts don't always scream. Sometimes they whisper wrongness. You may match colors or even shapes, but if the texture reflects light like plastic wrap, if the stitching is thick and uneven, or if the buckle looks like spray-painted jewelry, reads cheap. Our eyes catch it instantly, even subconsciously. Glossy patent finishes, hollow buckles with overly yellow tones, or oversized shapes all pull attention for the wrong reasons. It's not always about cost, it's about design. The proportions must harmonize with the outfit. A delicate blouse with a thick synthetic belt clashes visually. Cheap belts rely on gimmicks, giant logos, loud prints, novelty shapes, but true elegance doesn't compete, it enhances, quietly. Learn to see the signals, and you'll shop with confidence. The hardware test. Buckles that tell all. Buckles are the jewelry of a belt hand. They reveal everything. A good buckle should feel weighty, balanced, and tastefully finished. If it feels hollow, plasticky, overly shiny, or turns color after one wear, it's a no. Watch out for fake gold tones that scream costume, or oversized monograms that hijack your entire look. Refined hardware is brushed, antiqued, or softly polished. It blends with the belt, not overtakes it. Think understated matte brass, pewter, or deep bronze instead of shiny chrome. Even bold buckles can feel luxurious when proportioned thoughtfully. A belt with elegant hardware doesn't try to hard it, just works. And that quiet confidence is exactly what distinguishes an elegant dresser from someone still chasing trends. Why width changes? Everything. The width of your belt can make or break an outfit. A wide belt worn over a light silk dress dominates it, interrupting the natural drape. A thin belt with structured trousers can feel apologetically it's not up for the job. It's all about visual balance. Wide belts are great for cinching coats, knits, or structured dresses that need shaping. Medium width belts are the go-to for daily wear, perfect with denim or tailored looks. Skinny belts can work well for subtle definition, but if they're shiny or flimsy, they veer juvenile. Every garment has a belt width that complements it best. The secret is standing back and asking, does this belt complete the silhouette or cut through it? The mall belt trap. Fast fashion belts often lure with flash rhinestones, faux snake textures, oversized grommets, or neon colors. They're meant to grab attention in a store, not serve your wardrobe long term. These belts wear out fast, coatings peel, hardware tarnishes, styles feel dated. Over-embellishment is the main giveaway. Studs, sequins, and glittery finishes don't read refined. Then there's fake distressing belts made to look aged but end up looking awkward. Good belts don't shout. They don't rely on tricks to be seen. Ask yourself, will I still love this in 5 years? If the answer's no, it's a throwaway. Stick to clean lines, quiet finishes, and subtle shapes. Real elegance doesn't demand attention, it earns it through thoughtful restraint. Loud logos versus quiet chic. Branding is tricky to much of it, and the entire outfit loses its integrity. A belt plastered with giant initials or loud monograms doesn't elevate your look. It distracts from it. Instead of whispering luxury, it shouts for attention, often in all the wrong ways. Some designer belts cost hundreds. yet still manage to feel cheap when the branding hijacks your waistline like a walking advertisement. The truly stylish understand that real elegance is quiet. It's not about showing off the name, it's about how seamlessly a piece fits into the entire outfit, a small engraving on the buckle, a signature stitch detail, or a unique yet subtle texture. These are the kinds of branding that feel elevated, thoughtful, and luxurious. When a belt blends naturally into your silhouette and adds structure without pulling the eye too hard, it becomes a supporting character exactly where it should be. Your style should speak before the label does. The goal is always cohesion. Your belt should echo the tone of your ensemble, not fight for attention. If someone notices the quality before the brand, you've done it right. In fact, many of the most polished women often wear unbranded belts crafted by artisans, vintage finds, or quiet luxury labels known for restraint. Because when the construction is impeccable and the design is thoughtful, no logo is needed. Confidence doesn't need confirmation. Let the craftsmanship speak louder than the branding ever could. The texture test. Feel what you can't always see. Your fingers know what your eyes miss. Texture tells the truth. Cheap belts are stiff, overly glossy, and lifeless. They feel like plastic and resist movement. A good belt feels rich to the touch. Supple leather with natural grain, suede that offers soft resistance, or woven texture with dimension. High-quality texture bends, breathes, and responds to body heat. Mass production often fakes texture printing patterns or stamping details, but these wear off quickly. Real texture deepens with wear. Do the bend test. Does it fold like cloth or snap like vinyl? The tactile feel of a belt is as important as the look. Great belts don't just look expensive, they feel that way. From the first touch. Aging well. The patina principle. Great belt doesn't just survive time, it grows more beautiful with it. High-quality leather belts develop patina. Rich, subtle shifts in tone. Soft creases that shape to your body. Hardware that earns its marks. These signs of wear are the hallmark of craftsmanship. In contrast, cheap belts degrade. The surface peels, the finish bubbles, the buckle tarnishes unevenly. There's no charm in their aging, only decay. Look at belts you've owned for a year. The ones that softened and adapted to your waist, those are the keepers. Patina isn't damage, it's memory. It shows your style isn't fleeting. A well-aged belt becomes part of your personal history, not just your outfit. Placement. Where you wear it matters. Belt placement can change your entire silhouette. Worn at the natural waist, it creates structure, elongates your legs, and gives polish to coats or dresses. But shift the belt lower, and the mood softens. Slouchy, bohemian, casual. That leather belt over a tunic or soft blazer becomes effortless rather than crisp. Fit matters too. Too tight, and it creates bulges. Too loose, and it feels lazy. The belt should feel like a soft hug, holding, not squeezing. Try experimenting. A high belt lifts your frame, a lower one grounds it. Both work, depending on the outfit's intent. Belt placement isn't a rule, it's a powerful tool. Use it to sculpt your shape and shift your styling language instantly. Color. The style most overlooked. Most people default to black or brown belts, but color is a secret styling weapon, and when used with intention, it transforms your entire outfit. Elegant belts often come in shades you don't expect. Think olive green, burgundy, dusty rose, slate blue, or greige. These tones have depth and sophistication, quietly complementing your clothing rather than competing with it. A deep forest green belt on a cream outfit whispers quiet luxury. A soft taupe belt on navy trousers adds polish without effort. The secret is choosing muted, earthy tones, never too bright or overly glossy. High shine finishes can cheapen even the most refined look, while matte or brushed textures absorb light and feel organic. Metallics, when done right, like antique gold, pewter, or bronze, work like chameleons, blending with any palette. These are the unsung neutrals of a modern wardrobe. Build your belt collection with intention. Start with 3 core tones, black, tan, and a soft gray or greige. Then introduce 1 or 2 statement shades that still feel wearable, like rust, plum, or pine. These choices should always feel integrated, not interruptive. The goal is to enhance harmony, not to grab attention. When your belt's color feels like it belongs to the outfit, not just worn on top of it, you've moved from styling to mastery. The invisible belt tricks. Sometimes the best belt is one no one notices. The invisible belt trick is all about seamless integration. Think tonal styling. A beige dress with a matching belt that defines but doesn't distract. This technique allows your body, creating fluidity and sophistication. Matching textures matter: suede on knit, matte on matte. You're not adding detail, you're shaping the silhouette subtly. Try the look with and without the belt. If it gives structure without breaking the flow, you've succeeded. Invisible belts are the mark of refined styling. They don't ask for compliments, but they create the illusion of a more sculpted, finished figure. That's advanced dressing, powerful, precise, and elegantly understated. Knowing when to skip the belt knot. Every outfit needs a belt. Sometimes, the cleanest look is the one left untouched. Long dresses, architectural coats, and minimalist separates often look best flowing naturally. Forcing a belt into a look with no waist seam can break the harmony. Don't wear one out of habit, wear one with purpose. Monochrome outfits, especially, benefit from belt-free silhouettes. Let the fabric drape. Let the lines extend. When your shoes or jewelry already make a statement, skipping the belt keeps the focus balanced. The key to elegance is restraint. Know when to edit. If the belt doesn't shape, support, or enhance the outfit, leave it off. Simplicity can be your most powerful style move. How to tuck around a belt. Tucking is the small, final styling move that brings a belt to life. A full tuck is crisp and structured, ideal for dress shirts with high-waisted pants. It shows off the entire belt and says, "I planned this." The French tuck, just the front tucked in, adds ease. It hints at the belt and keeps the silhouette soft. Perfect for oversized tops or knits. A side tuck. It creates asymmetry and interest, especially with layered pieces. The secret is control. No bunching, no sagging. Let fabric flow gently around the belt. When layering outerwear, decide, loop the belt outside for cinching, or let it hang loose for relaxed drama. Your belt should never feel like an afterthought, it's a styling punctuation mark. The charm of vintage belts. Vintage belts carry history, aerial, lived-in charm that adds soul to even the most modern outfit. Their stitching holds stories, their leather softened by time and touch. Unlike today's mass-produced accessories, vintage belts were often crafted during a time when quality came before quantity. You'll notice the difference immediately. Hand-finished edges that don't fray. Buckles made of solid brass or brushed steel instead of hollow metal or plastic. Leather that has aged like fine wine, creased but never cracked. These are pieces built to last and designed to be noticed in the most subtle, effortless way. You might find a 1970s braided leather belt that hugs the waist of vintage jeans like it was made for them. Or an ornate 1980s clasp that transforms a minimalist black dress into something cinematic. Each piece is unique, impossible to replicate, and instantly personal. Wearing vintage isn't just about style, it's about individuality. It shows you have an eye, a story, a sense of sartorial depth. But tread carefully. Not every vintage find is a gem. Avoid belts with peeling coatings, warped shapes, or tarnished hardware that can't be cleaned. Stick to classic tones: deep brown, worn black, rich camel, and pair them with clean lines for contrast. The best vintage belts don't just match your outfit, they elevate it. They're conversation starters without ever needing to shout. And the beauty lies in their imperfections: the subtle wear, the softened buckle, the aged texture that no brand new belt can imitate. When you wear vintage, you don't just wear fashion. You wear memory, craftsmanship, and quiet defiance against disposable style. Belts as jewelry. Statement without noisome. Belts are made to shine, not loudly, but with intention. Think of them as jewelry for your waist. A sculptural buckle on a simple dress, a fine chain belt looped around a blazer, or a silk rope belt adding texture to linen. The key is placement and balance. Let the belt be the focal point, and keep the rest of the outfit clean. These belts aren't for every day, they're for moments when you want polish and presence. Choose brushed metals, tactile materials, or minimal beading that glints softly. No glitter, no gimmicks, just elegance with edge. A great statement belt elevates basics to something memorable. And like good jewelry, it never overwhelms, it complements. The 5 belts you actually need. You don't need a drawer full of belts, just the right 5. Start with a classic black leather belt, medium width, minimal hardware, structured, and versatile. Then, a warm tan or camel belt, perfect for light fabrics and denim. Third, a statement belt, wider, rich in tone, like burgundy or navy, with a bold buckle to define silhouettes. Fourth, a soft neutral taupe, gray, or cream with brushed metal for tonal dressing. Finally, a textured belt, braided leather, suede, or a raffia, wrap adds depth and summer ease. This core capsule covers every mood and outfit, from casual errands to elegant events. Focus on timeless shapes and consistent quality. One great belt in 2 shades is smarter than 5 flimsy trends. The 5-second belt test. Shopping for belts can feel overwhelming, but the right one passes a 5-second test. First, the squint test. Hold it at arm's length. Does it still look balanced and elegant when you blur your vision? Second, the touch test. Does it feel soft and substantial, or plasticky and stiff? Third, the blend test. Lay it over 3 outfits. If it flatters all, it's a keeper. If only one, skip it. Fourth, inspect the details: stitching, edges, buckle finish. Any fraying, bubbling, or glaring shine is a red flag. Finally, ask, will I still love this in 5 years? If yes, it's timeless. With this quick filter, you'll avoid fads and build a belt wardrobe that lasts. How belts reduce wardrobe clutter. Investing in the right belts actually means needing fewer clothes. A good belt transforms your basics, turning a plain dress into a polished outfit, or giving old trousers a fresh, tailored finish. It anchors your look without needing a whole new wardrobe. That crisp white shirt looks brand new when cinched with a wide suede belt. A neutral jumpsuit goes from casual to elegant with a gold chain waist. When your belts are versatile, well-chosen, and high quality, they multiply your outfit options. You get more from what you already own. Belts become style tools, not just accessories. They help you shop less, style smarter, and feel more confident because everything suddenly feels pulled together. Style fluency starts at the waist. A belt is more than a strip of leather, it's a mark of styling fluency, a quiet signature that reveals your eye for detail and your understanding of proportion. It's one of the few accessories that sits at the core of your silhouette, literally and stylistically. That's why the best belts aren't always the most expensive or the most ornate, they're the most intentional. The right belt doesn't steal the spotlight. It serves the outfit. It frames your waistline, smooths the transition between separates, and bridges tones with harmony. It's the final note in a composition that feels thought through rather than thrown together. When a belt works, it feels invisible, but without it, the look would fall flat. It might be a suede wrap cinching a wool coat, or a textured neutral grounding a monochrome outfit. It might be vintage, new, statement-making, or whisper quiet, but it always feels considered. That's the essence of true style. Not overdone, not accidental, but mindful. The women who dress with fluency know this. They don't use belts to fix mistakes, they use them to refine intention. They know that even a plain white shirt and black trousers can be transformed with the right waist detail. So next time you're standing in front of the mirror, holding a belt in your hands, ask more than just does it match. Ask, does it bring the look together? Does it say what I want to say confidently, subtly, elegantly? Because that's the true power of a belt. It frames not just your waist, but your taste. And when chosen well, it won't just complete your outfit, it will define your presence.